Target acquired. Target acquired.
However, the technique went largely unused until Satoshi Nakamoto created Bitcoin in 2009. He realized that this mechanism could be used to reach consensus between
and don't to manipulate the market. Flooded from the dark net, flooded from the deep web. Keep it a secret. Every exchange got some nerdy brains trading on the frequent.
Hello everyone, just give it a moment because we're going to do some tests as usual in the beginning just to make sure that everyone can hear. If you can hear me in the chat or if the volume seems off, I'm actually going to try to move this machine more forward. There we go. Please let me know, otherwise I'm going to look at the other stream just to see if we can hear anything. Okay, we can hear everything perfectly. And Cinnamon Inches immediately pops in by yelling out, hack the planet, and LGBT people and neurodivergent people unite. Welcome, everyone. I'm going to put this headphone back on to another episode of Crypto Barons and the usual hydration squad. It's a tad low. Okay, let me turn it up on my side. Let's see, let's see, crank it all the way up. Because the thing is when I have, when I'm doing the Master of Unlocking, the camera with the mic is overhead, so you can usually hear me better. But because of the way this current system works, I basically have this. So, once again, as long as everyone can hear me and we'd have no problems, welcome to this episode 2 of Crypto Barons. I can't believe we've already reached episode 2. And if you are new to this show, basically, I am one of the co-founders of DEFCON. Actually, I'm going to show that later. Of DEFCON 201. We are a computer hacker group that meets up in New Jersey, particularly elbow cough. Particularly, we meet in Jersey City, which is located in Hudson County, New Jersey. And we normally meet the third Friday of every month. And in fact, if I can quickly look this up here, our next meeting will be in July next month on July 17th. And we have a lot of activities for that. However, due to COVID and the fact that the police want to break down anyone with a face and all of the crazy people and the Info Warrior rides, you can see you can see an image of it in my glasses. I guess that's how clean my glasses are. We have been decided to, in addition to our once a month live streams that we're going to do, even when the meetings go back to physical, we thought of kind of showing you a bit of our lives and our expertise and hobbies by making all of these different shows on various streaming platforms such as Twitch TV, DLive. Hi, cryptocurrency people out there. Keep donating lemons to our account because that's going to be very important in the next episode of Crypto Baron. So DLive, you immediately have homework. DLive, YouTube, you can access YouTube through the dark web on Tor through Nvidius, as well as, Mixer, which unfortunately is going to be closed down on July 22nd. So that's what we've been doing, and this is one of our shows. I do this every second and fourth Sunday called Crypto Barons. I also just want to quickly get out of the way that if you hear any sort of loud explosions going on, I'd like to say our apartment is that exciting that we have I'm not going to even say it on air because I'm afraid of getting swatted, but I'd like to think we live in a crazy neighborhood where either Jack farted or someone next door is building a meth lab or we have just decided to experiment with yellow cake or something. We don't do any of that. What's going on is, as usual, fireworks are being launched everywhere. I heard in New York that they are launching them as sort of like a disinformation campaign to wear people down. In New Jersey, though, they don't really launch fireworks after 11 midnight, something like that. So, and it's actually been relatively quiet today. I think it's because it's been raining. So I'm just assuming that because we had fireworks all the way from the 1st of June all the way into the middle of July, that New Jersey's just being crazy again. So just to note, if there's giant explosions, that's the reason why. It's one of the 13 reasons why, as I quickly hydrate. So, Crypto Barons, what is this all about? Well, basically, and we love, by the way, said 2020, we love newbies here, so welcome to here. All of our shows, or most of our shows, I'm not sure if Archvile is like this. I mean, Jack's really good. He's our other co-founder, GI Jack, is really good at explaining a lot of computing concepts. He has more of an advanced show called Archvile, where he explores his custom Arch Linux system, and he does that second and fourth Thursdays of every month. I do Crypto Barons, among other shows that I'll get to near the end. every second to fourth Friday every month. But we're usually really good at explaining things from really low to really high. And this time, there's not going to be that much coding, but don't go away. We're still going to deep dive into the tech of this. So what we usually do on Crypto Barons is I was really frustrated as someone who likes to look into blockchain technologies and dabble in cryptocurrencies. I think they're really interesting tools. I've seen really cool projects that I wish would get more notice out there. The problem is that just like the way privacy has become with a lot of user apps, I just washed my hair so it's all crazy. Just like the way privacy unfortunately has turned into a snake oil term for like advertising of applications and services, blockchain and cryptocurrency, which is where you get the term shitcoin from, has definitely ended up in the snake oil salesman category, which is sad because all you hear about is all the different scams, and people talk about markets and rising and falling like their girlfriend's boobs, and no one is talking about these really cool projects that actually exist that get buried underneath that, and no one ever talks about the actual technology behind various cryptocurrencies and different forms of blockchain. So that's what this show is. We are a show that is noob friendly, that gets into sometimes more advanced stuff that we might be kind of doing tonight about different cryptocurrencies and blockchains, but we're going to look at the technologies behind them and less focus on the market. We will bring up markets and community like that, especially on this episode, but we're mainly going to be focusing on the tech. Trying to think of how I'm going to intro this. So, if you were on our last show, which was, I'm now actually curious, when was our last show? Because it's literally been that long. If you were on our last show on Saturday the 13th, I keep saying Fridays, Saturday the 13th, today's the fourth Saturday of the month, which is the 27th, if you haven't looked at a calendar. We did an intro of explaining to everyone like they're five, just like I had to do back in the day. Hey, person from DC 713 Houston, you just came at the right time because I'm about to explain what we did last episode. Is we explained it like they're five, because most people who are marketers in blockchain are. I'll read your comment in a moment. Don't worry, I do see it. By the way, I love when people, even though it derails me sometimes, I love chat interaction. So if you have a question or about hacking or cryptocurrencies or blockchain or what I'm showing off or the weather that day or what booze you're drinking or whatever, please mention in chat. Even if I'm not commenting immediately, I do read all this stuff and I will comment on things that come in. Anyhow, so our last episode, see about derailing, we explained to everyone like her five what a blockchain is, what constitutes as a block, how is a blockchain set up, hash functions, why are they needed, essentially FN blockchains, how do they work, what constitutes as a cryptocurrency, and then we show through code. We did some really crappy JavaScript and some good decent Python about how this actually looks in terms of code and terminals on the network. So that was the last episode. This episode is hopefully going to go more smoothly. We're going to be talking about what everyone's talking about, and I'm going to get demonetized right now, even though we're not monetizing our videos as far as we know, about coronavirus, aka COVID-19. I know we want all of that to go away, but unfortunately it's still a part of here, and if you haven't heard, New Jersey, New York, and Connecticut, gee, I wonder which state they leave down. Philly has made a triumvirate to essentially be like, the rest of the country is terrible and is going through an awful second wave because people wear their masks like this, like it's their dong hanging out of their pants or whatever. And they decided to kind of just like segregate themselves to attempt to try to mitigate a second wave as much as possible. So unfortunately, even if, let's say, everything gets cured in August, we're still going to be doing precautions up until at least January. And none of this will go fully away until we develop some sort of vaccine or cure ailment or procedure that will help out with this. So what we're going to talk about on this episode is two very interesting cryptocurrencies. And there's that term again. There should really be like there should really be like an interesting counter in the corner, because this is we have this thing where we say interesting way too much, and that always leads to shenanigans. But we're going to look at two cryptocurrencies. We're going to be looking at Gridcoin, which is going to take up most of this episode. And near the end, we're going to look up Pinkcoin, because that's going to be a bit of a two-parter. We're going to introduce Pinkcoin and then go full on into what Pinkcoin is next episode. I'm also going to detail the next episode. So I just want to read the chat real quick. I just want to read, hi, I'm a newbie. I want to start my career in cybersecurity. Bug hunting from where I started. Web, there's a lot of you say go here, but I'm still confused. Can you get me on the right path? I will say right now in chat, Cat, I hope that's how you pronounce it, Cat 2020, that you should probably go look at, there's two websites. There's Hack This Site and Hack the Box, or Hack in the Box, I think it's called. One has really good challenge tutorials that are web static. The other one has a lot of terminal stuff, and the GI Jack has been doing a Hack in the Box, so he's been going from 0 to whatever. Also, we normally try to do CTFs once every month as well during our meetings, so if we do one of those, jump on board because we're all learning together. I will mention that if you reach out to our co-founder GI Jack, or if you DM us on Twitter or email us at info@defcon21.org, we can better send you direct resources like links and stuff on where you might want to begin. Also, look up this amazing person called Fail Overflow with the O spelled as a 0. He goes into a lot of CTF stuff and he does tutorials on things. He's really cool. There's also, real quick, a person on here, and then we'll go into the main topic of today. I think it's called Cyber Teacher or something. I think it's like Cyber Tutorial or Cyber Teacher. He goes through CTS and a lot of computer hacking and info security stuff on Twitch. So I don't know if he's streaming right now. If he is, we'll raid him at the end. If not, we're going to raid some channel at the end. Same, my ninja said, like, play CTFs, and there's so much more to do. But that's a whole other conversation that you can either interact with us on social media or email us at info@defcon21.org. And lastly, if you show up to our next meeting, in person or virtual, which once again is going to be on July 17th, we have more free time to talk, so we're glad to do it there. Wrap me on blockchain. Actually, I just forgot. I forgot to ask Jack to lend me the blockchain necklace because I actually feel really naked without it. I don't know if he's going to do that, but that would be really hilarious because you have to. And I just heard he's probably going to now throw this thing at me. So let's talk about our main topic today, which is now we're gonna wait. Okay, because I was about to say you're in your underwear right now, so you might want to get off the. I guess the ladies and certain men are really happy out there, but we're trying not to get banned while I'm streaming, because if someone's gonna get banned on a popular social media network, it's always gonna be me. So yeah, now that thanks to GI Jack, we have the actual blockchain on. Let's begin, and I will share it later on. Just let me get through our main topics here today. No offense, I just want to really get into this topic because I've been training for this for a while. So, again, COVID-19, as everyone catcalls in the chat, because, I mean, why wouldn't you, is a big problem, and if you want to, there's many different ways to contribute. In fact, I'm going to show in a moment. We've actually made a really popular blog post months ago, back in, I believe, March, if I remember correctly. I actually did the one-eyed cock thing. That's neat. Cock. There's the word. No, that's what she said. But we made a blog post about how, as a hacker at home, if you have a little bit of money or no money at all, and you have, like, basic computing skills, how you can contribute different ways to COVID-19. And we had two different ones. We had actually more than two, but we had, and I might shortly feature one that is not the topic today, and I'll do that right at the end. But we featured two major cryptocurrency ones for those who are interested in cryptocurrency and computing and all that sort of stuff. And the two we're going to be talking about today is Gridcoin and Pinkcoin. What are they? Well, I'm going to shrink myself because all the women like it when I'm small. That's what I've been told. And we are going to then go through. Hey, thank you for following us, Bassa Gilder. I don't know English. I can't pronounce names on the internet. I don't know what happened with me. But anyhow, thank you for following us. Yes, the notifications do work. So I'm going to I'm going to take the bottle called Eat Me or whatever and shrink this down because, I'm all about the shrinkage. And we are going to do the explanation here. So video capture, and then we're melting. All right. I think like what most women say around me, this is a good size. So now that and by the way, the reason why we're not doing browser stuff is, and this is kind of behind the scenes of how everything looks out to infinity, is because I'm going to be going through multiple different programs, and that's going to be a big pain in the bus with OBS. So if you heard that rumbling, that wasn't fireworks. I'm just hungry. Anyhow, let's begin here. So, browser. So this is our website, DEFCON tour, and if you don't know, once again, we meet, we have to update this later on. Maybe I just didn't hit refresh. Probably didn't hit refresh. There we go. Yeah, our next one's July 17th. That's our website. You can email us down here for any questions. And you go to a news section, and that shows you all the stuff that's going on. So as we said before, we did an entire post about how to combat COVID-19 with this hilarious image of a cacodemon as representing COVID, and this representing my sanity. So you can read that post. We do have a folding at home team. We actually haven't checked up on it in a while. I'm actually going to check that right now. Let's see. We are still in the... We've been slowly climbing, like we're in like the top 1,000, but we've been stuck on like 700. So if you go and we can show this on like a different episode because I'm not going to do it right now. We're actually going to show its sister project off today. But if you install folding at home on a decent computer or like a high-end Raspberry Pi or something like that, and you go to our team ID, which is 241960, you can go into this pool, and these are the current top people here. You see G.I. Jax over here. I'm probably way down here. Neo is still, wow, he actually hopped up to. And let's see, unless he pulled, no, there he is. Third place is Dark Tangent, aka Jeff Moss here, rocking it out right now with that much pull. So yeah, we actually have a lot of people in our stuff. We're not as big as like Root, but I'm really impressed with how far this went. So yeah, if you want to do your own folding at home stuff, you can download Folding at Home. We have a tutorial on it on our blog here, and you can join our team. And that's one of the many ways you can combat COVID. But we also listed two different other things, which is Gridcoin and Pinkcoin. Now, because of what happened with Pinkcoin, I'll get into that when we get to that section. Wow, I just did a double right there. We're going to do Pinkcoin last, and it's going to be kind of a part one. And then the next episode, which will be on July 17th, we will do a beginning part two and then go into that main topic there. So most of us, we're going to be focusing on Gridcoin. So here we go to the website of Gridcoin. So this is the website for Gridcoin. So what is it? Gridcoin is like many blockchain. Well, not all. I'd like to say all blockchain projects, but unfortunately, especially thanks to Facebook, there are a bunch of projects that are blockchain related that are closed source because we can't have nice things. But Gridcoin is one of the open source cryptocurrencies. And what makes it unique is that it does things which we'll explain, like it does proof. Actually, it does interesting about proofs, but its main goal is that it's connected to something that is called and I actually need to go back a page, the Boink network. I don't know why it's called Boink. To take it seriously, I have no idea. But basically, Boink was set up in the early 90s. Its initial project was the SETI at Home, which allowed you to, which was for searching for extraterrestrial life, and they couldn't. They eventually shut it down, I think, earlier this year, like back in February or so. Because they've been scanning extraterrestrial life in space with 10 years and couldn't find anything. I think the only more hopeless project if you couldn't, if they were scanning for intelligent life on Earth. But I digress. So what Byte is it lets you use CPU resources that you're not using, or you can actually dedicate, like if you have an older machine that's still powerful, you can donate CPU and GPU resources that because you're just running it just for that. Or if you just have a desktop, you can just run stuff when it's in sleep mode or in the background for applications that aren't working. And what it will do is it will contribute computational power as a grid cloud network to different science projects. There's many different ones here that we're going to go into. All these different guys. You have maths, physics, science, earth. And again, if anyone has any questions about what I'm saying, please let me know in chat. Because I'm in a little bit of a delay right now. I can actually see it, but it's on a delay while I'm in this mode. But anyhow, astrophysicists, cognitive science, game theory, mathematics, and here are all the different operating systems they support. But and actually, I want to go back real quick because I just noticed something. So there's a Minecraft at Home now. What sort of crazy horse crap is this? I'm gonna click on this because I just noticed this right now. Okay, apparently Minecraft is so big it counts as a computing project, so it's time to get the noose out for me. Science is dead. No, I'm half kidding. But let's go back to the actual science projects page. So there's all these different side projects here, but to help with COVID-19, or that's known as the coronavirus, it also has a bunch of other terrible names I'm not going to mention because our president only understands things from the perspective of the wetness of water, or however the hell that works in his empty hollow head. We're going to be focusing on two different BOINC projects. We can, and we're going to actually try to enter in the, where are you here? The GPU grid, which does biology and medicine with molecular simulation and proteins. But the main one we're going to be focusing here is the Folding at Home sister project called, not Radioactive at Home, called Rosetta at Home. So I'm going to go back here and we're going to go onto Rosetta's website. And so Rosetta at Home is very similar to Folding at Home, in which when you run the BOINC client, it will take CPU and or GPU resources, although I think this is primarily a CPU intensive project. And it will go into protein foldings. And normally this is done for like cancer research and biological theory and stuff. But as posted over here, they've been putting most of their resources to try to figure out the the protein folds. Wow, I just did malapropism. In COVID-19 in order to further try to figure out a cure. And in fact, if we go over to our Twitter here and try to go to our community page real quick, we actually made an awesome retweet that happened very recently, where a couple of days ago, I believe, because I can't do math, 2 days ago, Rosetta Home's computing power has succeeded in creating, thanks to all the computational folding, antiviral proteins that neutralize most strains and most of the new strains of coronavirus in lab setting. Right now there's animal trials for those type of drugs that will disrupt the protein, hence why it's corona. These things are different proteins that latch onto the cell, using my minimal understanding of biology that I remember back in the 8th grade. But yeah, that disrupts basically the ability of coronavirus to connect to your cells, and thus prevents you from getting sick. So we are actually on a really good first step for cures, and thanks to people donating to Rosetta Home Project their CPU resources, that calculation managed to those calculations managed to achieve this breakthrough. So congratulations to Rosetta at Home, and great job for them. Now, you're probably wondering right now, what the heck does BOINC and the Rosetta at Home have to do with Gridcoin? Well, Gridcoin is a separate kind of add-on to Bionic. It runs as two separate programs, but Gridcoin basically overlaps the BOINC project. And I just want to refresh here. There we go. And I accidentally opened that, and here we go. So Gridcoin, when you run the wallet separately, you will link with a BOINC processes going on, and then basically it uses the BOINC processes as a proof system. So it's technically doing a proof of work because you're using CPU and GPU mining its resources in order to do calculations, but instead of doing the usual proof of work like what Bitcoin does, where trying to remember my notes here, let me take a drink because when I rehydrate I think a lot better. So unlike Bitcoin, where the proof of work is to calculate different hash lengths that are then stored in blocks, say current and previous hash lengths. If you want to know more details on how that works, look at Crypto Barons episode 1, that 2 weeks back. What it will do instead is it will use the actual calculations that you use for the CPU and GPU resources in the BOINC cloud distributing process development as its actual proof system, and they call it down here proof of research. So by using proof of research, that actually validates and creates new blocks on the blockchain, and then once there's a certain amount of mining going on with that, it will then kick back a payout in which it will distribute Gridcoin, that's a different thing, to your Gridcoin wallet. So essentially you get tokens that are worth an okay amount of US dollars for contributing CPU resources to find cures for things like COVID-19 and other good scientific causes. So that's basically a good summary of Gridcoin. What we're going to do, and actually I'm going to do an away from keyboard for a couple of seconds, but I will put it on away from keyboard and pause because I have to get more water here before I go crazy. What we're going to do with Gridcoin in most of this episode is I've already partly installed a Boink research computing software on this machine, and we already have wrong window, and we've already partly installed a Gridcoin wallet. And so we're going to walk you through what you have to do to set up Boink, what you have to do to set up Gridcoin, and what you're going to have to do what we call pool mining. And I'm going to explain why we're going to be doing pool mining, pool crunching and pool mining instead of solo crunching or solo mining. So that's what we're going to do in a moment, but just give me a quick short break as we make the computer go crazy and as we go into as I get more water. So I will be right back. I keep forgetting how OBS works. So hi, welcome back. Thank you for letting me know that. And I got the water back. So there's some great H2O here. Boy, it's like I haven't been doing this in 3 months. And again, what we're going to be talking about is, as I click the wrong thing again, is we're going to be covering two blockchain technologies that help out solving the COVID-19 situation, which are two cryptocurrencies. And the first one we're going to be looking at, which will be most of this episode, is Gridcoin. And as a quick recap, what Gridcoin does is it runs on a parallel, it's a parallel application that essentially bootstraps itself to some degree to Boink, which is a cute term for basically using your extra CPU and or GPU cycles that you're not using, and you can also dedicate direct devices to it to solve scientific projects. What we're going to be focusing on is doing what's called, let's go over here, which is called pool crunching or pool mining, because, and I will show you why, is that, but let me quickly explain here actually. We're going to do pool crunching, and we're going to run this and Boink to point at Rosetta at home and possibly the GPU group as well, just so that we have one CPU and one GPU process going on in order to aid in coronavirus research, and in the process essentially mint a little bit of actual money via Gridcoin through that process. Now, like I said before, we're going to be doing pool crunching and not solo crunching. Why is that? Well, let's look at the solo crunching guide. I'm trying to find it. Yeah. So basically, you have to have 5,000 grid coins in your wallet existing in order to begin to do the crunching completely solo. Solo meaning you're using your computer. Pool is there's essentially a mini network of computers that handle background processes for you that then distributes its collective computing power into the BOINC network as one computing node for that processing power. So it's sort of like, again, a mini pool to connect to a bigger pool, which is BOINC. But yeah, we need like 5,000 grid coins existing in our wallet. And if we open up our calculator here, we're going to put in 5,000 and we're going to time that by how much Gridcoin is currently worth, in which we're going to go to CoinGecko, which is one of my favorite resources to figuring out how much currency is. So there's a bit of a downslip right now, but that's how it's worth in US dollars. So we're going to copy that number because I can't do math, and we're going to paste that, and that equals, so you have to have roughly like $24 in order to do solo mining, and I'm incredibly broke, as anyone at DEFCON 2 can tell you. Now, to be fair, I've been really busy. You can, which we're going to do pool mining from basically scratch, and in about a couple of weeks you should get enough grid coins that then you can transition to solo mining. Unfortunately, I'm really busy running DEFCON 201 and running at yelling at the federal government and yelling at police forces to stop police brutality, and looking at Pornhub and other things. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to focus on pool mining. So we're going to go back here, and pool crunch. I keep saying pool mining because every other cryptocurrency calls it pool mining. As I take a drink, and we're going to get into the process here. So we've already installed BOINC. I'm going to load that up in a moment. And what we're going to do after we installed the BOINC client, which is on the downloads page here, you can also go to the BOINC website and hit the download button. And there's two options here. Now, there are projects, I've only found one, and thankfully it's not Rosetta at Home, that requires this plus the VirtualBox setup. We don't need that. We are going to want to just install the client itself. And I will note, again, the reason why I'm on Windows is because OBS runs a lot better on Windows because of licensing and competency and other things. I'm not a Windows stand. It's just essentially OBS works the best on Windows. In the future, this will still be Windows, but this will have an overhaul so I can do proper virtual machining, which I'm going to really need for future episodes. And I will show you directly how certain Linux processes work. If you say interesting, we drink twice, including that now. Yeah, so, but in the meantime, I will mention certain aspects about Linux when installing this, because when I first started Gridcoin, I am on my Ubuntu Linux machine. We're actually going to take a peek at that when we get to Pinkcoin, but what you're going to do is you're going to download BOINC, whatever version that you have, and I just want to quickly chat. I should make it a drinking game. Yeah, basically, yep, the interesting drinking game. What you're going to want to do next, if we get back to Gridcoin's website, is you're going to join a pool. Now, they have two pools here. Thankfully, none of them are Tim pool, but they have the GRC pool and the Arikado pool. It's freaking Japanese files. Both are honestly good choices. Personally, what we've done is we've already logged in and everything with GRC pool. Now, GRC pool mainly focuses on Gridcoin. It was set up by people who run Gridcoin. You can actually see the block and super processes here as a grid. It also does a bunch of other minor coins, including Bible Pay, and stick a feather into Bible Pay, because if you're wondering what the heck that is, all I can tell you is December. We're going to look at it. It's glorious. You are not prepared. But yeah, we've already made a whole account here, and we're going to go into our profile, and we don't have any hosts connected right now. We already did two-factor and all the other security stuff, and we have no earnings. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up this host. So we're going to go in, and we're going to do BOINC. We're going to open up the BOINC manager. As I said, I pre-installed this. I only half installed because there's certain installation functions that you are going to notice here. Now, normally, unless basically this is slow, it will usually ask you about a Boink account. And normally you would create a Boink account here on the web page, and you would essentially sync all the information you put on the web page directly to the Boink. Here we go, the Boink client. But see all of this? If you were going to just run Boink without Gridcoin, or you were going to run Boink and do solo crunching, which we're not going to do today just because of logistics, you would normally select what projects you want to do here, and you would you would select what projects you want to do here, and you would put your username and password from Boink. It would sync them together and would immediately start the processes. However, remember, we're doing pool mining. The pool's going to handle the projects and categories for us. So what you're going to do is do something that usually like is the antithesis before you do this, and cancel out. And yes, we are going to cancel out. And what we're going to do is we're going to go in and let's see if we can do advanced view. Here we go. So this is advanced view. And what we're going to do in this advanced view mode on Boink is we're going to go in, and I believe we're going to, I'm trying to remember which option now. Nope, not that. This is where I show my age and I can't remember anything. So I know it's under tools. Right now we're not running anything, so the event log should not be, I mean, it's going to tell us what our computer is set up for, but we have nothing running now. What we're going to do, let's see, I'm trying to remember exactly where. I hope I don't have to go on break. I should have probably wrote this down, because I remember everything else that what we're going to do today. Let's see, I think it's the account manager. Here we go, yes, the account manager. So, we have a bunch of options here. Now, in older clients, you actually had to manually enter GRC pool, but with the newer client, GRC pool is directly connected. So if this doesn't show up, what you do is you just put it whatever default it highlighted, and you erase this URL, and you put in the URL, where are we, for the pool, which is grcpool.com. Put the full URL, is put https://www.grcpool.com. Because we're using a newer client, GRC pool is already in here, so we're going to do next. And it's going to attempt to connect the website. Yep, and we're going to do the username and password here. So if I did this correctly, we're going to do that. And what we're going to do, I already have it on KeyPass, but just for extra security, not like you guys are going to break into this, I'm actually going to turn off the display capture very quickly. And we're going to go and we're going to copy and paste that, because I would like to use this machine when it's not broadcast in the future. That we're going to do the we're going to copy and paste the password into the client. Okay, so we're going to turn display capture back on, and we're going to go back to here. So now that we have our username and password, it's the same one we use for GRC pool. We're going to click next, and now it's going to try to sync to our account. And we're going to wait a bit, and that's where I kind of chat stuff. Again, if anyone in chat is curious about what we're doing or have any questions about what we're doing, just please let me know in chat. There's a little bit of a delay, but I can see you here. So we're going to finish that. And now if I refresh the page, we should pop up as a host. See, the number changed to 1. We're going to click on my host, and there we are, I believe. Yeah, because of it actually takes your computer name. So that's the previous name, because we haven't fully wiped and reconfigured. It's probably going to be named DEFCON 2 and after this. And you can actually see the type of computer I have. So you can actually see here that we have an Intel Core i7 at 2.60 gigahertz here. And let's see, OS for Windows. You have 8 CPU cores, and we have one NVIDIA GTX in here, which we're going to keep in mind. And that whole thing is running. So now that we have that there, let's complete this process here. So what we're going to do is, now that we have our hosts linked up, we are going to now do what's called our first synchron. Actually, wait a minute. I click on host. I just want to make sure we didn't miss a step. So we're going to add projects. So this is the part where we're going to add what we normally do in the Boink client. We're going to now add it in the pool. So even though we're mainly going to focus on Rosetta, I actually am going to attempt to add 2 here. So the first thing we're going to add is Rosetta at home, and that will directly go to COVID-19 stuff. The other one that I heard is also COVID-19 is GPU Grid, because they do protein foldings. And we're going to make a note of something here. Now, Rosetta at Home, if we go back to the Boink's website and go to Science Projects, under Rosetta at Home, here are all the different operating systems it runs on. We're currently on Windows, but you can run this on Mac. You can run it on different Windows, even though it's a bit of a pain in the butt. Put a feather in that. You can also use Android for it, although there's a bit of a technique in order to do that. And if you have Linux, like an ARM project, particularly Raspberry Pis, you can actually make a dedicated Pi machine that not only runs Rosetta at Home, but you can also run Gridcoin on it and just basically make that your dedicated miners. And if you want to make multiple miners and you have enough money to buy multiple like Raspberry Pi 4s, that's something that you can do. But note up here on the GPU Grid network, you can run it on Windows or Mac only, unfortunately, and it is compatible with NVIDIA cards. So what that tells us here is, since there's no NVIDIA or AMD for Rosetta at Home, that means this is pretty much CPU intensive. And the GPU Grid is, while you can put CPU power, it's mainly focused on mining GPUs, and its specialty is NVIDIA cards. So with that information, we're going to go back to the pool. And what we're going to do is, for GPU Grid, we are going to click on no CPU. That way we don't have wasted CPU resources going to GPU, because the types of GPUs in particular, no matter how potato the GPUs are that are connected on the GPU Grid, your CPU will never catch up to those, so it's wasted processes. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to click no NVIDIA, no AMD, and no Intel GPU, so that way Rosetta at Home gets pretty much all the CPU resources, and GPU Grid is going to get our NVIDIA resources. In fact, for measure 2, we're going to also turn out AMD, and I'm going to leave Intel on because I'm not sure of that option, but because we can edit these later, by the way. But we're going to add these. So when I refresh, the project should be there. Let's see. Sorry, did this wrong. Let's quickly do that again. So as a recap, because I am not a genius, we're going to add 2. Our focus is going to be Rosetta at Home and GPU Grid. And what we're going to do is we're going to turn GPU off for the GPU Grid, because our CPU will be hopeless, and that way this gets all the GPU cycles. And I'm just going to leave Intel alone just because I'm not curious. And we're going to turn off all the GPU stuff on our profile here for Rosetta at Home. That way all the CPU goes into here. Now what we're going to do, and this is where I screwed up, is save project settings on the left. So now that's in there. So when we hit reload, these projects are there, right? So we're going to go back to the account. Actually, we're going to go back to host again real quick because I just remembered something. We're now going to attempt to sync this. So we're going to go into ops, so we're going to go into tools, and we're going to now synchronize with the pool. And this is going to take a bit. Again, if anyone has any questions in chat, please let me know. If you have any questions about what I've just did, or about pool mining or anything, just again let me know about that. And if you have anything interesting to say, 1, drink twice apparently, and 2, please put that in chat. So now we have finished with the syncing. So when I do, refresh, we're going to go back to accounts. Let's see. We should see something here. Hang on. Because I want to see if, because they may have fixed something since the last time I've used this, but I wanted to see if like certain errors might have come up. So yeah, we don't have any GRC magnitude yet because we're not mining any coins right now. Let's see, I'm trying to remember what's that. Okay, that's just the number rating. So yeah, so we're at sync. We already have apparently we already have friends requests on this. I guess that's one of our watchers there. Hi, Jamie. Wow, that travels fast. So what we're going to do is if we go to event log, we should see different hosts. Let's see, the project is using an old URL when convenient. Remove this project. Okay. All right. That's actually a curveball I was not expecting, but I want to read the rest of these logs first. So, because I want to make sure that there's no CPU processing that we haven't done yet. So it seems like our only real error is, I believe the GPU grid is outdated. So what we're actually going to do with that is we're simply just going to delete it, and we're going to just do Rosetta at home in the meantime. So this will still pretty much work. But yeah, we have this synced with our Bionic Manager now. Let's go in and see tasks. So projects, so we have, actually, wait, I just want to see the event log again real quick. So we have .net, okay. I just want to see if there's anything we can change here. Unfortunately, let's see. Let me quickly look up something here. So we're going to go back to Bionic. I just want to make sure we're on the right thing here. Because I also see like a TNG grid home, which might be GPUgrid.net. See, I guess this is one of the downsides of doing the pool, is that I'm kind of at the mercy of the current. Because if this was single pool mining, I can easily change it to .net. Just want to check something here. So yeah, unfortunately, there's no way I can change this. So we're just gonna do Rosetta. If we did single pool, if we did single mining or single resourcing, we could change it, but we're at the mercy of our pool. So GRC pool, please update your URL if you're watching this. All right, thank you. So what we're going to do here is we're going to try to give more resources to Rosetta. So I'm going to, let's see here. I'm going to, let's see, no new task. So update, resume, no new task, reset properties. Trying to remember how you remove this stuff. This is a real test of my memories. Because I believe the Linux client is slightly behind the Windows one, so some of these options here are new for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into tasks. I'm going to suspend that task. There we go. So update, resume. No new task. Update. Let's actually make this full view. Suspended. So right now it's 50-50. I'm going to see if I can do more resources. So there should be a way to remove this. Here we go, options. Let's see, event log. So let's see. So yeah, well, 100% of the time, suspend when computers on battery. Suspend when computers in use. Go ahead and check that. Suspend GPU computing when computers in use. I think we're good with every other setting here. Yes. Okay, so we should be getting a lot more tasks here. And I want to see if I can remove this again. Let's see, update, resume, no new task, reset project. Let's go into properties. I'm going to have to figure that out later. So yeah, they're just updating. So yeah, we do have some resources here. Let's go back to the client, see if anything's updated there. Now, a thing about the pool mining is that you are going to have to yep, that's just the dark mode. Okay. Is that you're going to have to normally with Bionic you have to sync twice to do this properly. That's actually why. And if it's suspended, hopefully all the resources will go down to this. Let me look in tasks to see. Yeah, it's all Rosetta at home. So that should work there. That's kind of our disk space. So we're going to go in and we're going to, let's see, go back to event log just to make sure. So yeah, those are our only errors here. Yeah, I just want to make sure if certain tasks. Okay. Alright, I think I have everything set up here. So now what we need to do is you usually need to do 2 syncs on this. So we're going to sync again, which might actually remove GP, the grid. And once that happens, let's go back into the event log again here. And we should have a bunch of new events. So yeah, let's see. Okay, everything right now should be running perfectly fine. Let me just look at the tasks. Ah, the CPU is busy. Let's correct that problem. I'm actually going to, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to take a quick break right now. Give me like about 20 seconds to a minute, just because I'm going to look up just to make sure that everything is properly synced. Once that happens, we're going to go through. So just enjoy a little bit of music for about 30 seconds now. So we'll be right back. I'm always going to forget this audio thing, aren't I? Anyhow, hi, welcome back to Crypto Barons. What happened, let's reiterate here. Right now we're looking at Gridcoin and we're setting up Boink using a GRC pool. Basically what happened was that I had to do the old turn your computer off and on again thing, meaning I had to desync and then resync. Come on. I have to desync and resync the project here. So even though we still have GPU grid selected, we're going to Rosetta at home here, and we have all the active tasks which are currently downloading. These are going to take a while. I don't even know if they're going to complete during this, but, and we already have transfers here. Everything's active. Everything is now looking gorgeous. So now that we have Boink set up, basically that would continue to go on. And now, and what will that do is as you do process, it will automatically start generating Gridcoin. Now, how are you going to get that Gridcoin? Your pool is going to have to pay out to something, right? Well, this is where your Gridcoin client is going to come in. So now we're getting into like the real blockchain type tech, I guess you could call it. So let's go in and let's launch the Gridcoin wallet. And it's going to yell at me, do you really want to run this? I think, no, it's just going to do this. Now, here's the funny part about Gridcoin. So you notice down here, we are basically, it's really going to be hard to sync this. And we're not going to do this now. I'm actually going to kill this using Task Manager because I'm an elite Windows user. But yeah, you saw there, we had like 1,000 blocks when like the chain itself is closer to 1,000,000 blocks. And if we ran it, it would legit take forever. So what we're going to do instead is normally what you would do is you would cancel out of this, which I am, and it's letting me know if we ever want to do this again, how to config this, and we would go in and do let's see, community, we would do Block Explorer and download the blocks that way, which would exit out, and it takes a bit, but I'm going to show you an even faster shortcut and how to do this. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the task manager, that I can't remember what icon it is, in order to kill our Gridcoin wallet. End task. There we go. And what we're going to do instead is if you go to Gridcoin's website and you do the set up the client section, you will see somewhere in here, here it is, you can manually download a snapshot. Now, this is how I actually got introduced to the concept of blockchain snapshots. There are some other cryptocurrencies that do this. I know Pinkcoin, which we're going to cover later, has a snapshot, but a lot of cryptocurrencies do not publish their snapshots, whether it's for security reasons or for laziness. Gridcoin, because of how long and big the chain is, that's what she said, they really focus on making sure that your client is up to par. To connect as soon as possible. So what you do is when you download it, here's the snapshot. It's a zip, and when you unzip this, although we're just going to copy paste, you're given two things. You have the block data, which has 2/3 of whatever current snapshot it is, and they update these pretty frequently. So it's not the full chain, but it gives you most of it. And then you have the databases right in here. It's a huge amount of databases. So, and I will mention, if you are on, oh geez, I didn't realize this wasn't done installing. There we go. Well, anyhow, I'll describe it to you. If you are on Linux, there's a different directory on Mac that I'm not going to talk about, but if you go to your command line and you do if you do cd./capital Gridcoin research with a capital G for Gridcoin and a capital R for research, that is where your file is. It's a hidden file. If you can't look through hidden files on GUI, you're going to have to go to the command line, and you're going to have to do some CPFU copying, not child pornography, copying into to copy these files over. But since we're in Windows, I'm just going to do the easy method here. So now that we have our snapshot, we're going to head over to our folder, which is under our username, under app data, roaming, and Gridcoin research. And now what you do here, and remember, make sure your Gridcoin client is closed, is we're going to go in and we're going to delete those two files that we're going to replace here. We're going to delete the block data, and if it will let me, we're going to delete the databases. So we're going to get rid of those, and it's, yep, and there it goes. And then if we did everything correctly here, we are going to now copy and paste the new data in here. And you know, see, this is most of the chain. Look how long this is taking, and that's just through Windows. On Linux, it takes a similar amount of time to copy this entire chain over. It's pretty long. So that wait when it canceled out, that was because it was trying to download the chain and it did it unsuccessfully. So we're going to give it a couple of seconds for the whole chain to go in. Again, if there are any questions out there about what I'm doing, more about Gridcoin, cryptocurrency, hacking, myself, because I'm Sidepocket, I'm one of the co-founders of DEFCON 201. We meet 35 every month at Subculture in Jersey City, which will be meeting partly in person again next month. Please let me know. So we have now our block data, and then the second thing we're going to copy over is the text log database. And note how long those logs are too. So again, if anyone has any questions or comments, please let me know in chat. I'm on a little bit of a delay, but I can kind of see everything here. And we also have a mention, because I know a lot of people are looking for an end commander getting tortured. We do have an update on that, and there's good news and bad news. Although, when I mean bad news, it's not like ridiculous bad news. End Commander's still going to get tortured. It's just we'll let you know at the end of this broadcast. Oh, cool. If we end what Baby Castles is streaming, we'll just forward everyone to Baby Castles instead of Woke Tonight. Okay, so now that we have that in there, we should be able to load up Gridcoin again. And provided that we don't have any more technical difficulties like we normally do on this show, we should see a huge block jump. See, it's loading the block index. See, that is a lot closer to this number than like the measly 1,000 blocks we had before. Look, it's already climbing. Let's see, we have 3 spaces. It's 1 million. So we've copied over, yeah, it's about half with that last snapshot. So this is the longest part. We're going to give it a bit, and it's going to sync all the blocks together. And I want to jump ahead and we can get going on this. Gridcoin is one of the many ways you're able to do that. We're going to be covering both Gridcoin, and we are also going to cover, and I realize I have to actually go back in time here. Come on, why is everything in? It's probably because we're running Boink. Running Boink, so all our CPU resources are going stupid right now. But yeah, we're also going to be, why is it doing this? Why did I go 2 pages? There we go. We're also going to be covering Pinkcoin at the end here, which will be a part 1, and then we're going to move over to part 2 on something else. I do also want to mention again that Gridcoin is completely open source here. So once it properly loads, see, this is how I know it's using the CPU resources, and I can actually feel the fan right now. There is a wiki to kind of cover everything here, and it is also on. If I go back to the website, let's scroll down here. All the code is up on the GitHub, so you can get good. So this also furthers their whole Gridcoin's promise on being open source. You can view the entire client setup and parts of the blockchain and stuff here. Oh boy, we're getting into frying egg territory right now. But yeah, so basically what happened is that we did all the blocks there, and now it's currently out of sync, and we're going to give it a bit, and it should properly sync up. Even if it doesn't sync up, we should be able to continue on with stuff, because again, this is just a tutorial. I also want to quickly mention with Gridcoin is that while we're currently, because we're in Windows using the Windows client, you can also get it as a DMG package for Mac OS. You can, for Debian and Ubuntu, basically you update the repository for it. It has its own repository, but it has to be added separate. You update everything, and then you install the client, because now you've added the repository, and then you start it by typing in Gridcoin research or sudo Gridcoin research on your terminal if you're not in root, and you'll load it. It also has its own RMP package for OpenSUSE and Fedora, and there is, which might make Jack happy, a Arch Linux repo package to do so. And if you have none of those operating systems, if you're running some strange thing like Temple OS or something, I guess, there is a source and Linux compiling guide for these clients. When we go to phones, I'm not sure about this one. We might cover that with Bible Pay, but Koinomi, which is a multi-coin wallet, you will be able to have this on your phone. There's also a separate Gridcoin wallet on here. Just to let you know. So yeah, this is probably the longest part. Cause you see those bars here? It is still currently trying to sync. Because that's how long this goes for. I know my current one, because we're doing this from scratch. That's why I wanted to show you, because otherwise we would have like already loaded it by now. But while that syncs up, I just want to check in here. You can get stuff, and what we can do is we can generate this address here. We have no label for it. Let's attempt to let's see, copy label. No label. Let's because I don't think there's any editing options in here, unfortunately. Let's just create a new one. We're going to call it DC201 COVID-19. That should be good, and it's generated a new address here. And the way we would do for our pool over here is, as you can see, there's no GRCs. We go to GRC address, and we do that right in thumbnail. And we just put our address in there. Oh yeah, I forgot. And this is something you're not going to be able to see on our end. We have the 2A on here, and in fact, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to turn off the screen share temporarily, and I'm going to input our 2A, just, you know, because we can't be any more secure on here. I'm actually going to wait for this to refresh. So now I have new numbers here. I wonder how many people are trying to listen to the sound on this, trying to decipher what I'm typing. Although they do rotate every like couple of seconds. I just wanted to be extra secure there. But yeah, we go back and we wrong thing when we entered in the password as our 2A, and now we have an actual wallet address. So basically what's going to happen in a couple of days, if I've heard, is between 10 to 14 days, we will have done enough processes on here where it will begin to mine. And again, this is still syncing. Oh man, this is the crazy part where everything still syncs. Watch, by the end of the episode this will properly sync, but I'm going to check back on Boink. That's the logs. We can actually close out of the logs. Let's look at tasks here. Oh, it's suspended again. I'm going to have to figure out why it's being suspended. I won't do it on this episode, but it's honestly probably just because I'm running OBS, because I know OBS takes a huge amount of CPU resources, so I bet once that happens, it's going to go normal. If anyone has any solutions or has any questions so far, please let me know. Because I have a very similar setup like this on Linux, so I'm kind of being amused why this isn't working now. This isn't, the sync's being delayed right now. But again, like what we went over, once you get a pool going, we're going to go to our address here. Yeah, I can actually see the CPU resources because of how much this is lagging despite having a direct connection to the router. We had our Gridcoin address here, and we have our own account on the pool and everything. Basically, in a couple of days, when Boink is synced and the Gridcoin wallet is finally synced properly, it will start mining, and then once it gets to a payout threshold, and it happens usually once a month, I think it does it like at the end of the month to transition from like the 30th or the 31st to the 1st, it will then deposit that in whatever wallet that you left in here. So once this wallet's properly synced, we will actually get those deposits. Now, the part that's going to drive me crazy, and I actually want to check something here. The part that's going to drive me crazy, just checking here on the block status here, is that I wanted to cover two other things about Gridcoin before then we do something really cool with Gridcoin with Android. And unfortunately, because it's not synced yet, I'm not sure. Yeah, we're not eligible for... I don't know if we're able to do it yet. So what I'm actually debating about doing is I'll introduce it on here, and even though you're going to see this later, I'm going to pull a GI jack from Archvile and actually move the camera over and make the camera image bigger, and you are going to see me do it on my other Gridcoin wallet. So I just want to show this off here. Is another concept of cryptocurrency is these things called faucets. And what essentially they're ginormous wallets. A lot of these wallets are connected to large mine resources. And basically they have X amount of whatever cryptocurrency is in that faucet. So what you would do, and I'm going to try it on here, and if it doesn't work because it's technically not synced yet, I will actually show it on my Gridcoin wallet on the other machine. This is the price that I paid for showing you that whole blockchain thing. I would have had this done in advance, but I didn't want to show you how to bootstrap I'm gonna say strap on. Wow, bootstrap a snapshot of a blockchain to the client, and that's why it's taking forever. And actually, what we can do currently is let's exit out of here. We're actually going to click that for now. Don't show this dialog box. And we're actually going to see if this makes this go faster now that our CPUs are not being used up by Boink. But basically what you do is you take your address and you put it in here. You solve the CAPTCHA. When you hit the claim, you get a very small amount. It says here, it says 0.05 to 0.5 Gridcoin of free coins every day, and it resets at midnight. And because I believe whether you use the .com or .org for gridcoin.ch, they're located in Switzerland, that's midnight at Switzerland, although usually when I wake up and check in the next day, I can submit again. So we're actually going to try it on here first, and if not, I will show it to you on my other laptop. So we're going to go to receive, and we're going to copy the address here. That should hopefully show up. Yep. And then we're going to solve this CAPTCHA. Ah, yes, the classic fire hydrants. So keep clicking fire hydrants until they go away. That should do it. And we're going to attempt to claim it. So we claimed it. I don't know if it's going to show up on here or not, because again, we are out of sync. So give me a moment, and I'm actually going to open the Gridcoin client on my other machine, and I will quickly show you how faucets actually works via the web camera. So I'm actually going to go back into OBS here. We're going to temporarily turn off display capture, and I'm going to look at me enlarge. And I'm going to get the other laptop, which is perfectly fine because the other laptop, I'm going to need it in order to show you the Pinkcoin wallet, because I don't have the Pinkcoin wallet set up on here yet. So we're going to the Ubuntu machine, and wow, everything's just heating up today. So we're gonna go in. Come on, log me in. And again, if anyone has any questions, especially now that I can see the chat directly in OBS, please let me know. Like, ask me about like my day or what's been going on with my life. The only negative part is I have to solve a CAPTCHA all over again, so that's going to be fun. Turn this off. So I'm going to go in. I've already installed both Bionic and Gridcoin, except I have so many apps that Gridcoin is down here now. So it's going to load up. Because I don't care, even though we're going to wipe this machine, that means the current Gridcoin wallet and Boink system is going to disappear off the laptop. I don't care about it. I'm going to reset it again. I can also just do the mining stuff on, like set things up on this machine and then use this as the workhorse. So just to take a note of that. So we're going to wait for it to load up here. It's this very similar process. I'm actually going to turn the camera around now. Ah, behind the scenes, no. So that right now is the current view. And as you can see, the blocks are loading just like it is on Windows, and you can see the little bar over here to show that I am on just like stock Ubuntu right now, thanks to Sarosil, who's one of our DEFCON 201 members. He does a lot of like the troubleshooting work. He's basically like in a room full of computer guys, he's our computer guy essentially. So once that is properly loaded, we will be able to do faucets directly on here. So it's going to reach that. And again, I'm running a bunch of stuff right now, so it's probably going to take a while before the client shows up. So as I've said before, if you have, yep, now it's jumping up to where it's going to need to be. So if you have, again, any questions about Gridcoin or about what we're doing here in order to fight COVID-19, please let us know. So now it's done loading, because of course computers have to let you know when they're actually done loading. And you can see I have already bits of faucets in here, but I'm going to show you in real time how this works. So we're going to go into receive. And once again, we're going to copy the address, and we're going to put it in the Gridcoin faucet. And again, I almost forgot where because my function and control buttons are on opposite parts of the computer. Like if you look at this machine, that's control and function. Controls on the left, function on the right. On this ThinkPad, functions on the left, controls on the right, because we can't have any standards in computing. But as you can see here, I put our Gridcoin address, and once again, I'm going to solve the CAPTCHA. Crosswalks, joy. And the CAPTCHAs are always the same thing. I don't know why most computers can't beat them. It's always like there's 3 images, and you just click them until they go away, or you just highlight some bull crap or something. Please tell me, why? This is probably the last one. I bet you anything that's the last one. Oh, you bastard. Come on, give me a non-sidewalk. This is like the worst casino game ever. Oh! Wow, it really hates me today, doesn't it? It really hates me today. I'm actually going to quit out of Discord for now. That will probably make things run better. Oh, boy. We've just entered like the version of like a boot loop, and there's a firework for but instead of programming, it's CAPTCHAs. So I just want to note my last time I did this was on May the 22nd, because you're going to see an update here, and this client's already synced and everything. Oh, actually no, wait, it's out of sync, but it's only going to take a little bit for it to go in sync. In sync, remember that band. But we're still going to solve the CAPTCHA. So yes, finally. Oh, now I have to earn it. All right, fire hydrants. Fire hydrants are usually easier than freaking crosswalks here. You see the type of stuff I have to do in order to please everyone here on Crypto Barons? This is just ridiculous. Hi, Mr. Miyagi. All right, that should have did it. Yes, I am not a robot. Thank you. So what I'm going to say is we're going to give it a little bit more. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on to a different topic here, and we're going to wait till it syncs on this one, because it will sync way faster than it will on the other computer. I'm actually going to double check. Yeah, the other one's still syncing. This is going to be the heck that we're going to go through with crypto wallets. I promise in future episodes they will be pre-synced. Again, the only reason why I didn't do the syncing on this one is because I wanted to show what bootstrapping a snapshot is like. So let me put this guy back, and to make things go even faster, I'm going to directly plug into our network here with the secret blue cord. Jack makes wonderful, fabulous cords out there. So yeah, I might have to complete the CAPTCHA again, but basically in a couple of minutes we will check that. And once the blockchain is synced, I will show you the finalization of a faucet transfer. Just to note that that's what faucets are. They are essentially a huge wallet that has a bunch of PHP and databases that actually, if I view it from source, you'll kind of see it. And they're connected to giant. That's neat. It's created Angular. Okay. They're connected to giant wallets that are currently being mined to, and so they're like a mass amount. Think of it like a U.S. lottery, except you actually get something out of this for the most part. And what you do is you put when you get the wallet, the faucet of the cryptocurrency of your choice. In this case, this is Gridcoin. You put in your receive address in there, and you solve a CAPTCHA. And when you hit claim, you get a very, very small sliver of it. That's why it's called a faucet, because it's like dripping. It's like a drip, like a leaky faucet. And in this case, we will get either 0.05 to 0.5 Gridcoins out of this. Nowhere near the actual 200, not 200, the 5,000 Gridcoins, as G.I. Jack walks by, that you would need in order to do single pool mining. doing singular mining, but that's enough. So as I shrink back down here, and we're going to put that up, we're going to go into some other topics, and we'll go back to the faucet later. Here's some other things that we can do here. So here's something that I kind of want to point out. Again, we didn't do solo staking, but if we did, an important thing once you've set all that up is you're going to have to what's called configure the beacon. Now, that's not a sexual maneuver, believe it or not. What that is that it's basically the beacon basically allows the communication between your wallet and the actual blockchain. So it's like the glue that keeps it together. So you have to send a beacon out there, and then the network will realize it and then properly link you up. And I'm going to show you quickly how to do that. So we're going to go into our Gridcoin wallet, and this should let me load this up even though it's not synced. So we're in the debug window here, and we're going to go into console. And now this is going to show up as an error, by the way, because we're not solo staking. We're connected into a pool, and this is also still syncing on the blockchain. So we're going to type in advertise. Actually, you know what? Just to make sure that I don't do a goof and misspell this, I'm just going to copy paste it from here, because that way, this is a copy pasta night. Great, now I want pasta. So we're going to type in advertise beacon, all one word, lower caps, and enter that into the console. And as you see, it failed, but that code, if it said pass, would set up, and that would allow you to properly connect to the network. In order to make sure that it is running, you would type in beacon report, all lowercase, all like it's all one word, and that will give you all of these hash data. That this kind of shows you how big the blockchain is. Look how this is like beginning of the addresses, like that's how large the actual chain is. So yeah, so just to note that if you're not doing pool crunching and you do solo, when you do, in order to successfully gain proof of research and to sync with the chain here, you're going to have to advertise the beacon. We're not here. I just wanted to show you that so you know we're on a group setting. It's just taking forever to sync because everything hates me. A lot of wallets have their own sort of like console that looks much like a Linux console, as you saw over there. And there's a bunch of what's called RPC commands, which is in the debug window, and there's all sorts of stuff you could do. Like you can, actually, let's go back to the console here. Debug window, console, right? So I think you can clear this by hitting clear. Oh, you can't. I'm an idiot. Okay, so that didn't work. But you can do things where you can like list all SIPIDs, for example. And it says that's depreciated because it's not synced yet. We can rebalance. We can reserve balance for staking. This is probably going to come back as an error, but we can manually get the staking info via the debug console. Again, most of these are going to come back as errors because we haven't properly synced yet. But there's all, you can reboot and stop and everything. There's so many different commands that you can do in terminal. And eventually when we get to Greencoin, we're going to be focusing exclusively on the terminal. Because of the stuff we're going to do now. I'm going to take a quick second and see if the other client synced, and if it did, I will show you Faucet. If not, we have a little bit more to go about with Gridcoin, and then we're going to go on to Pinkcoin and end the episode. Nope, everything wants to be slow today. Holy crap. Actually, no, that's why. That's why it's not going faster. There we go. Now I'm on an actual wired connection. So, maybe at the end of the episode, we'll be able to, once the blockchain syncs, we will be able to show you what a faucet is. Again, normally I would have these all pre-synced, but they're not because I had the brilliant idea of, I'm going to show you how to, like if we had VMs set up, I'd probably have like a new Gridcoin wallet on a VM, show you how to bootstrap it, and then I would go back to the actual synced one. You know how they do in cooking shows where they start off with the ingredients and they're like, we already pre-made this. Like that's what I'm going to be doing in the future. But because Tyler is stuck on, Suricel, or Tyler, is stuck on Long Island, I have to make do because I'm not lead enough. But if I remember correctly, that should be pretty much it for Gridcoin. I just want to see if there's anything else. So, just as a quick recap again, what we did is Gridcoin, which is this thing right here, is a cryptocurrency that parallel processes on a software called Boink, which does basically lends CPU and GPU power to do computational resources for different science projects. And what we've done is we created we went to GRC pool, so we went to a Gridcoin pool, and we made an account, and we linked that account together, and we also gave it a Gridcoin address that is normally in our wallet. And so by mining Gridcoin using Boink at Rosetta at Home, Rosetta at Home is devoting most of their stuff to the COVID-19 research, and they've recently had a breakthrough with anti-proteins for Gridcoin, which will allow for different, which is currently going right now as animal chemical testing, which will go for a very long way to create either a vaccine or some sort of temporary solution, so that way we can nullify COVID-19 related deaths, as well as people hospitalized due to cases. So this is going to be a very important thing. So if you want to actually make some dough off of while contributing to a good cause, I definitely suggest getting a decent machine, going to downloading Boink and downloading a Gridcoin wallet, setting those up in sync with each other. Do pool mining to get your 5,000 Gridcoin. It's going to take a couple of months, or you can just buy Gridcoins, which you can go to different exchanges for. I believe both Bittrex and Southchange are both places where you can buy Gridcoin directly. Actually, I think I have it here. Yeah, South Exchange. You can. I'm actually going to click on it. You can buy Gridcoin directly from as part of an exchange, so you can use USD and buy Gridcoin there, or use another cryptocurrency like Bitcoin or Litecoin and buy that. And then you can solo mine, and whether you solo mine or pool mine, as long as you're doing it for Rosetta at Home, and if you're able to configure correctly, unlike what I did, the GPG group, but mainly Rosetta at Home, you will be able to not only contribute to COVID-19, but get a little bit back for it. And the thing is, you're not going to make a huge amount for Gridcoin, and as I showed when I did the calculations, 5,000 Gridcoins is like $20, so don't expect to become like a millionaire or anything through Gridcoin, but I think it's a nice, literally a token gesture to the awesome stuff that you're doing by lending your CPU and GPU resources to fight COVID-19. One last thing about Gridcoin before we quickly move on to Pinkcoin, and then that'll be the end of our show. I'm still trying to figure out how to do this, because unfortunately I couldn't get enough in time where I could mirror Android directly onto this computer. That will be something I work on in the future. But what I am going to do is I'm going to now figure out, and we're going to make this thing full screen. So I'm going back to here, turning this off, and Tamahis! And we're going to use the camera, and whether it's through the TV or through or directly on the smartphone. I'm actually going to hold this up and see. I'm actually going to show you. Let's do a test so you guys can see yourself. There you are. I'm going to show you how you do this on Android. In fact, what I am going to do is let's do a master of unlocking type setup. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stand up, and I'm going to thread the camera through so that it's pointing straight down. So I'm sorry if you guys get motion sick, but it's your fault for tuning in on this show. Let's see. There's my crotch. All right. Let's move these guys out of the way. Probably can hear me better too because of the mic. And we're gonna hold the phone up, and it's okay. This is gonna be tricky. Let's see here. So that's not gonna do it. I'm pretty sure by the third Crypto Barons episode, I will have an actual protocol for doing this. Let's do this on the TV, since the TV is huge. That's what she said. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna point it at you guys and do infinite, as I am now going to Chromecast directly to the TV and kick off the current stream. Okay, so that's what kind of the phone screen looks like. And in fact, I want to try something here. Give me 1 second. Let's go into, and again, if anyone has any questions about what I'm doing or wants to know things about hacking or whatever, please let me know, because I love chatting with people. Let's see if we can get this to stand up properly. There we go. All right, that works. That is more than adequate. So that's my phone. It's Hacker AF. When I'm not dropping it everywhere, because I hate this sort of glass back design. So there is actually also a way to do this sort of pool mining directly on your phone. However, it does take a legit kind of hack to do, and we're going to actually get into that right now. So the first thing you're going to want to do is install the Boink client. You can get it off of the Google Play Store. If you don't want Google to track you, I highly recommend installing what's called the Aurora Store. That's that icon right next to the Google Play. And actually, hang on. Let's make this even better and turn off some lights. There we go. Yeah, you guys should be able to see this better now. So yes, and actually, hang on. One last adjustment we're going to do here is we're going to change like the backlighting and stuff on this. There we go. That should be better. That should be a lot better right there. Okay, so again, you can download the Boink app off the Google Play Store. If you are worried about Google tracking you, I highly recommend to get the Aurora Store, which is this app right here, and that's a little bit of a preview of what we're about to do. It basically makes an anonymous account that you can then access the App Store, the Google Play App Store through, and it downloads the APK individually and then installs it separately, so you're not going through the, well, you're shopping on the Google Play Store and downloading stuff without having to go through stuff with the Google Play Store, like the Google Play account and the tracking and stuff. So either the Aurora Store, or if you're brave enough, the normal Google Play Store will do. But the first thing you're going to do is download the Boink app, and you can see it here. And you can normally, just like with the desktop app, there's these individual projects like right at the top, the Rosetta at Home. But there's also, let me make one minor adjustment here. There we go. But if you scroll all the way down, we can now add accounts here at the bottom. But note when we tap it, it gives us username and password, right? But like, where is GRC pool? Well, this is where the modifications are going to have to go in. So first, let's exit out of Boink. And we're going to go into the hacking tool section, and we're going to use an APK parser, which is literally called APK parser. Again, you can download it directly off of the Google Play Store, or you can get it through the Aurora Store if you're worried about Google tracking you. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the option of select APK from app. And it's going to load up all the apps on my phone, including potentially embarrassing ones. And we're going to select Boink. And where we're going to go is, let's see here. We're going to go through, that is just different languages. All right. So let's see if we can find this directory here. We are going to go to, I'm trying to find the files section. Lots of A's. But yeah, this is a great tool to break an APK apart and see like all the different pieces. There's also an analyzer tool that I can show off in the future that you can get. But yeah, so you're going to go down to, let's see. Wow, it really jumps here, so I have to pay attention. Alright, let's see here. Cancel. Let's look for, edit. I can't spell. I cannot spell. Okay. Because there's a certain directory we're going to attempt to find in here. Let's actually search for the file itself. It's a XML file. Oh, no, not that. Why did you change it to that? Alright, let's go back in here. Because I originally used a different app in order to edit this. So, I'm trying to find the directory in here. Let's see actually if we can just search all XML files. So let's see. Oh, I see. Hang on. There we go. I was in the wrong section here because I'm dumb. Alright, so let's see here. We are going into, let's see, Bionic. Let's try to find it in here. Oh! I hate this keyboard. Here we go. So what we're looking for is we're looking for the arrays. Actually, now that I'm in here, let's look for the direct XML file. Okay. Let's just look for XML files in general then. Let's see what's in here. So what I'm looking for is that's not going to help me. All right, hang on here. Let's look at values. Maybe they moved things around since I've done this. So yeah, I'm looking for different XML files here. Lots of strings. Lots and lots of strings. Jesus Christ. Okay, this has thrown me in for a loop. To be fair, it's been a while since I've modified this. It might be in here somewhere. Values. There we go. There's the file. Holy crap, that took forever. That's why. It's in a different directory. You know, this is welcome to computing. So yeah, what you do is, I guess, hang on, let's just go back here. You're going to go into res, and then you're going to search for just values, no other dash, and you're going to open up the arrays XML file. So this is the XML file. It's not a particularly huge file. That's also what she said. And there's an array that's called, with a bracket, string-array name equals ACCT underscore MGR underscore URL slash LIST. And you'll notice there's a bunch of item brackets with the different URLs. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in and we're going to add our own item here. Let's see if I can hold that closer. We're going to add our own item. So we're going to do item bracket. Hate typing on a phone. And then we're going to type in the URL for the GRC pool. So that is https://www, darn it, hate this keyboard, www.grcpool.com. And we're going to now make a new bracket that ends the item tag. So what we have done here, as I type with one hand, which I should be way more used to considering my extracurricular activities, is we've opened up this arrays XML file buried in the program by using this APK parser to edit the actual BOINC APK. And what we've done here is under the account messenger URL list, which is what that green string is, we've now artificially added in the GRC pool web URL. So what we're going to do here is we're going to save it, back out, and we're going to save the APK itself. And this is the part where I really hope it doesn't screw up. So trying to figure out here how you go in. Darn it. Let's see here. Edit is not supported anymore. Geez. I might not be able to fully show this. This frickin' sucks. Hang on. Yeah. So even though I showed you the edit, unfortunately, I would have to get a different, probably more rooted program in order to show. Wow, we are just. I think this honestly has more roadblocks than our last episode. So as I redo the lighting in here and move the camera back, basically, I now understand why why I couldn't find anything. They re-edited the program because basically everyone was mad about them like directly editing APKs. But essentially, if you were able to use a proper APK editor, whether it's on the desktop or what you probably have to do is go to F-Droid and get a proper rooted, you probably have to do phone rootable APK editor. You would go in and you would find the arrays XML under values in the file system, and you would basically add a new item that has the URL in it. You would save it, you would uninstall the original, install the new APK that you just edited, and that will actually add the Gridcoin on there. I might have to redo this episode in the future just because of all the crazy stuff that happened here, because I'm happy with all the information out there, and thank you all for watching this, by the way. It's been, honestly, this has been actually kind of fun to scratch my brain with. I know I seem like I'm more unprepared, but I wasn't. I actually set this up really well. It's just, demo gods. Programs are going to be programs and all of that mess. So I'm just quickly loading up the live stream again on the TV so I can properly monitor this. Oh, I should probably stop screen sharing directly, right? That would be a good idea. Now we'll cast. But we're going to go on to Pinkcoin in a moment. But right before that, let me check to see if the other wallet synced. I wouldn't be surprised if it didn't. But, okay, good. Okay, so here's some actual good news for once. I'm going to go back to this on Wi-Fi. So I might have to redo the captcha again. But the other wallet properly synced. And let me check here. Yeah, because I have this wallet more up to date. So what we're going to do is I'm moving the camera over one last time. And let's go to OBS. So yeah, this is the wallet on my Ubuntu setup. Sorry for the hokiness. We're doing this GI Jack style where I just point the camera directly at a computer because I really wanted to show the bootstrapping thing. Otherwise, I would have a preset, pre-configured Gridcoin thing right now. And that should help close out you, because I keep forgetting about that on Linux. Here we go. So like I said before, so this is our current wallet. It's properly synced. The last time I did the faucet was on May 22nd. So once again, we went to the faucet. We're going to have to do the verification again, but you go to a faucet such as gridcoin.ch, and then what you do is you go into Gridcoin itself, and you go to receive, and you copy the address that you're currently using, and you paste that into the Gridcoin address, and you click the I'm not a robot, and you're going to do the CAPTCHA. We're doing cars this time, just like the Disney franchise that drives me crazy. And then once the CAPTCHA is solved and everything's entered, it's going to give you between, as it says over here, 0.05 to 0.5 Gridcoins. Very small amount. That's why they're called faucets, because it's like a drip faucet. You're getting little drips of currency at a time. The reason why you can do this is because what these faucets actually are is they are a database and various SQL and PHP cobbled together that's connected directly to a Gridcoin wallet, or a wallet that whatever the coin is called for its faucet. And what they're doing is they have that wallet connected to a giant mining pool, so it's literally filled with like thousands, if not hundreds of thousands. In some cases, probably a lot of the Bitcoin ones probably have like millions of mined Bitcoin or Satoshis on there. And what they will do is when you do this CAPTCHA and the URL, it'll give out a sliver. And a lot of them, they have it on a timer, so you can only do it once every day. And that didn't work because CAPTCHAs hate me. And so like with this one, when I check in tomorrow, when I wake up after Switzerland goes through a midnight, past their midnight, I'd be able to enter this again. And again, this doesn't give you a ton of Gridcoin, but it gives you bits of it. For if this was Bitcoin, it'd give you like 1 or 2 Satoshis, or even like half of a Satoshi. So that's I just wanted to do that because there'll be coins in the future where you will actually see me do a faucet. So right now, so we have the address and we did the CAPTCHA and we're going to claim it. I already claimed my coins today. So let's see. Oh, I see what happened. Because I already entered the CAPTCHA thing, it reset it. Wow, I am having all of the processing problems today. Like that, this is just like a whole new record here. But I hope everyone who's watching gets kind of the concept. It's just, right now I look like I don't know what I'm doing. But I hope you guys understand when things do work, when things did work with Gridcoin, that every roadblock I had was just another application failing because they've changed something in it. Or like what's been going on here is I was unable to do the actual, I wasn't able to pre-plan a Gridcoin wallet because I wanted to show you guys what bootstrapping a snapshot of a blockchain actually looks like. So that's basically Gridcoin. I know we had sort of a rough time, but just to note, I'll actually shrink it down again, then we'll do Pinkcoin for a couple of minutes. So I'm going to turn on the display and then we're going to go shrink. And again, if anyone has any questions whatsoever about what I'm doing or any of the coins I'm talking about or cryptocurrency in general or hacking, please let me know because I love answering stuff on chat. And actually, let me quickly go into the menu system and bring that backlight up again. There we go. Turn it down slightly. Okay, that's good enough. So that's Gridcoin. Gridcoin is a cryptocurrency that has its own wallet that parallel computes with BOINC. And BOINC does cloud computing processes. Basically, you can volunteer CPU, CPU and GPU resources for various science projects. And if you take BOINC and set it to Rosetta at home, and a great way to start out if you don't want to do solo mining because you can't go to South Exchange and get the 5,000 plus Gridcoin, which is about $24 to start out with. You can go to a mining pool like grcpool.com, and create an account there, link up your Boink and put your Gridcoin address in, then set on GRC mining your Rosetta at home, or if you're doing solo mining, set at home directly from the Boink client. And then what that does is it will actually use that donated CPU power, will actually be used in place of the cryptographic hash function. So that's what they call the proof of research. So it's not doing computations just to solve hashes. It's the actual computations you're doing to donate your CPU resources to Rosetta at home. Your computational resources in this case are the protein folding, which helps to fight diseases. Mainly what they're focusing on right now is COVID-19, and they've already made amazing breakthroughs. But if you run Gridcoin with Boink and you do some mining, whether it's single or pool, you will get tiny amounts of Gridcoin, which you can exchange for Bitcoin and cash out on it and make a good amount. Again, 5,000 is $20. I think $20 is more than enough to just give out your CPU and GPU resources for a good cause. So as we mentioned, that was we're gonna go over here to our Medium. That was one way in our giant hacker resources of how you can help solve and cure COVID-19. I'm actually gonna close out of the Gridcoin wallet now. Why do you not want to load? I am just Mr. Like, it's like right now I'm like digital Murphy's Law. Everything that, well, not everything, because I'm not going to say, but no major stuff. We haven't had like I'm not saying it, but basically right now every minor thing that could go wrong, has gone wrong. But I hope you guys get the concept of this. Again, now that I have the Gridcoin wallet installed, I'm going to do a fresh install when this machine gets wiped. I might quickly revisit Gridcoin again. Maybe we'll pull Gridcoin out as a minor thing in a future episode. So that way you guys have more of an more comprehensive view of how the whole wallet system works, where everything's not screwed up like this, because I hadn't synced it yet, because I want to show you how the strap system works. And also I don't have VMs. So as we noted here, mining Gridcoin on Rosetta at home is one way to do it. By the way, if you also just want to donate CPU resources in general, we do have a folding at home team, which is the sister to Rosetta at home. Our team is 241960. And as I kept forgetting during this episode, I want to mention that if you do like what you see on these live streams, whether you're on Twitch TV, DLive, and DLive, please send us lemons. I'll mention why at the end of this episode. YouTube or Mixer. Maybe not Mixer because it's closing down on the 22nd of July, but if you can hit on the follow button. We love to get follows and we'll shout you out on air. We are working on subscription features, and I think you're going to really like some of the perks that we're going to do both on stream and even maybe some physical things. So not in that way, but like we're going to figure some things out. So that's one way to do it. So the other coin that I'm going to mention, and this is going to be a short segment just because of how everything's set up, is Pinkcoin. So what is Pinkcoin? Well, Pinkcoin is another cryptocurrency, and it seems like your base level cryptocurrency. One major difference is that it does proof of staking instead of proof of work. Well, what is that? Well, proof of work, like we detailed on the first episode, is that it usually gives some sort of thing that you have to use your own computing resources for, mainly in terms of Bitcoin cryptological hash functions that make sure it actually does the cryptography part of the hash functions properly between the blocks in the blockchain. And what that will do is will then validate the blockchain and add a new block to the chain, and everything's all fancy pantsy. The issue that a lot of people have a proof of work is that, well, it's probably honestly one of the most secure methods you can do to mine and create blockchain, because it's so reliant on your computational resources in the same kind of way Boink is, hence a good segue from Gridcoin. It takes a lot of resources, especially with something as big as Bitcoin, in order to mine from. And let's see here, because I don't know if they have the white paper. They don't have the white paper on here. They do have a blog, but I'm not going to dig through it. And so basically that's where you've probably seen like those giant mining facilities, especially in China, where they just rack up GPUs and just waste a crap ton of electricity just to mine a decent amount of Bitcoin, like every second of every hour. And if you have any questions about that process, please let me know in chat. The problem is that, and you can see there, it wastes a lot of electric resources. That means there's also a high ceiling and a ton of money to go to get into mining for something like Bitcoin or Litecoin or Ethereum or any of the main top coins, except for Monero, I believe. And we'll deal with Monero in a future episode. And the other main issue, is that causes a bunch of problems. Particularly gamers were angry because normally you would use like the NVIDIA GeForce GTX in here to offer sweet graphics, but instead people were mass buying them in order to make these crypto miners, and thus there was a shortage of GPUs. So a lot of the PC master race out there, as well as even console gamers who were reliant on AMD and NVIDIA, were pissed off because for months on end they couldn't get new GPU chips because that's how lucrative Bitcoin mining was and everyone was buying them up. So one of the main alternatives for that type of mining that's more, and we'll cover this when we get to BitGreen as well, environmentally friendly, costs, I didn't mean to middle finger you guys, cost reduction, you don't have to pay any money, if not very little money, in order to make this work, etc., is proof of stake. And what proof of stake is so imagine if you will, that each of the blockchain or the blocks basically is a tiny vault. And what you do is you send a certain amount of coins, like remember with Gridcoin with the 5,000, you take a certain amount of coins, I believe for Pinkcoin I think it's 500, and you put it in that vault for safekeeping. That is your stake. It's basically like a little vault of money with your name etched in on it. Then what it does is when the blockchain comes to verify itself, it uses those stakes as part of the hash function to make sure that each previous block is where it is on the chain up to the Genesis block, as we covered in our first episode of how that works on Crypto Barons. Once it's done reading that, it can confirm that and then add that to their new block. When you put a stake in that chain, what it basically does is kind of create like a what do you call it? It creates a like a lottery system. So your name gets put in there. The more stakes you have on the chain, the more your wallet's name or your receive ID will address will pop up, and every time it pops up, it takes a tiny bit of that currency and then puts that directly into your wallet. So essentially, you put in coin to receive coin. And the cool part is once you put that stake in, it usually keeps looping around back, so you build up over time. And because it's the chain itself is checking for how much currency there is in there, which is basically the CPU process of doing one permanent transaction instead of trying to go through every single cryptographic hash to figure out where everything's on the chain. You can basically use almost any computer, almost any phone that's within the past, I would say like 5, maybe 6 years, in order to do most proof of staking stuff. Now, I will say there are potential issues with proof of stake. One of the big ones is that, from what I understand, there are, which I will cover in the future, there are ways of attack. So some people think that proof of staking is less secure. That's something that's kind of debatable in there. Also, from what I understand, you don't get as big as a haul with coins that do proof of stake or give you option proof of stake as you could do with proof of mining and other methods, but that's also up to that. Another thing about Pinkcoin, which unfortunately I did not actually open up a separate window for, and I did. Hang on, I can actually go to this site, and we're going to go back in time and hopefully bring this up. Is another thing about Pinkcoin is that it's an X11, uses X11 as its computational as algorithm for the cryptocurrency. So because I didn't study this beforehand and I'm lazy and tired, I'm just going to read what X11 is. It's a chain hashtag algorithm utilizing a sequence of 11 scientific hashtags in a row. So remember how we did one hash out on our like tiny blockchain? This will actually produce 11 of them, and it uses those 11 for proof of work. Let's see here. So yeah, that way the distribution is fair, similar to the way Bitcoin originally was. And if I remember correctly, yeah, it was originally used to make ASIC much more difficult to create as a security function, but now it basically exists as a portion of as your network hash rate in order to do these hash computationals. And again, it was originally a proof of work concept. It was introduced originally in Dash, originally called Xcoin. We will get into Dash in a future episode and one or two of the particular technologies behind that. And basically, Pinkcoin took the X11 and changed its system from a proof of work to a proof of staking feature for mining, and that's basically a kind of a good summary about Pinkcoin. Except I probably forgot to mention one major thing, which is why it's called Pinkcoin in the first place. First of all, neat little factoid: Pinkcoin was actually founded in 2011, if I remember correctly, from an professional poker player. And his whole thing is he entered poker tournaments, Texas Hold'em tournaments, mainly to donate most of his pots that he wins to charity. And so because he was interested in Bitcoin and Ethereum at the time, he wanted to create basically a cryptocurrency that would be charity oriented. And that's why it's called Pink. It's pink as in like a sort of activist sort of way. So what Pinkcoin's main thing is, not only can you mine with the X11 hash proof of stake through Pinkcoin, but its main function for proof of stake is this program called Donate for Life, and we can see that page over here. Oh, actually, that's a different thing there. Where is our? Here we go. Donate at Life, which is a charity portal just for Pinkcoin, where you can link your stakes to a particular charity, and instead of mining it to your wallet, your stakes mine to that charity, and then eventually they can pull out those coins and cash them in for what they are. So this is the new Donate for Life homepage, and there's many different stuff there. Here there's ones to take back Pink Pie, which is, they originally made a Raspberry Pi that would be able to mine Pinkcoin, but there was some disputes, and basically there's no this code to do the Raspberry Pi for the Pink Pie is essentially closed source. The only way you can get them is to buy the Pink Pies from the company that made them. And so there's a thing going on right now where they're attempting to recreate the Pink Pie again and release that as open source. And there's ones that support to prevent infanticide, charity gaming tournaments, various memes and stuff. And it's a popular platform. But if you kind of notice at the top, you'll probably notice one kind of big one here, and that is we have been running since March. Our own program on Donate for Life, and that is a charity fundraiser for the World Health Organization, COVID-19 Solidarity Response Fund. Actually, I'm going to copy paste that because that is yet another tab I forgot to do for it. But while it's searching, basically the World Health Organization, which has been on the forefront for fighting COVID-19, along with other researchers such as Fred Hutch, which we did entirely in May for COVID-19 research. They have a Solidarity Response Fund, and what this does is it's not a fund for research like the way researching COVID-19 like the way Gridcoin is. This is well, it does have some things, like it does contribute to research for impact of spreading the spread of COVID-19, so that way they have enough resources in order to properly use tracking systems. But it also goes into patients to make sure that they get the care that they need when they've been infected by it and when they've been discharged from the hospital. You probably heard about that story about the elderly man who survived COVID-19 and got a $1.1 million hospital bill in the United States. And that really should be shocking, but unfortunately it's not to me, because we all know how terrible our healthcare system is in the United States. It's not a hidden thing at all. And so some of the money that is being donated for this is going to go for patient care, for the frontline essential workers that are out there, to get groceries done, to make sure things ship on time, to make sure people get food and water and repairs on buildings, and who are out there currently also of like the nurses and EMTs who are out there on the front line fighting for this thing, as well as anything that's left is going to go into money to help buy equipment and to pay people to develop a vaccine that will hopefully be able to be used by everyone and doesn't end up like the EpiPen. So that's what the COVID-19 Solidarity Response from the World Health Organization, or WHO, is about. And so we, a while ago, opened up our own one for Pinkcoin. And as you can see here, it is one of, if we can actually bring like the grid of them out, it is one of the top charities that we've done since then. Like, some of these are older, but we've surpassed so much. Like, we used to be on the absolute last page of this thing, and there used to be a lot more of these because a lot of campaigns have ended, and now we're like on the number 2 or number 3 position interchangeably for charity, and it was actually brought up on like the Pinkcoin Discord and stuff like that. And what I'm actually going to do real quick is, because again, didn't think to do this beforehand, I'm actually going to turn off the display capture for half a second, and I'm actually going to log in, because again, normally a password manager doesn't leak this type of stuff, but I just want to be extra secure here, and we're actually going to log into our Donate for Life. So I'm going to copy the username, put that over. Do it like manually. There we go. And then we're going to do the password for it. Don't see my password. Oh, shoot. I have to actually put the email address. I almost forgot. What the? Hang on. Let's try that again. Oh, that's why. I'm in the wrong section here. I'm an idiot. Yeah, because I was wondering why the password looks so short. There we go. That's the proper one. All right, so we're going to turn back the screen share now. And again, if there's any questions about Pinkcoin or want me to clarify some of the stuff we did on Gridcoin or anything, please let me know. So yeah, we have our own Donate for Life. And if we go to all campaigns, we're like always the top 2 or top 3 on here. We've had so many votes. And we have, look at that, we have over 81,000 people staking, doing our proof of stakes for this. And if we go over to, I'm actually going to click on the campaign. You can see that here. And you'll note that basically every couple of weeks we get new votes. And I just basically push that vote up. Let's actually get it. We're going to do like all 7s. So we're going to do our new votes at 77777. And we'll assign votes. And that helps with this grub stake graph down here. The more votes you get, the more it goes out to different wallets and the more people will actually invest in. You notice we had a spike in the beginning of June here, and just because I've been doing crazy, we've dipped a little bit, but we still have a lot of stakes in that. So that's sort of our Donate for Life. And here's the deal. I'm going to tell you how you actually are able to get to do Pinkcoin or any altcoin that's worth its salt like this and change it into money. Basically what you have to do is, first of all, by the way, if you want to mine, you can go to Evo nodes, and just like what we did with the remember this GRC pool? Evo nodes is basically that for a bunch of cryptocurrencies. So you sign up for it, and it's less configuration because you're essentially linking your Pinkcoin wallet. You join a pool, and as you can see with this guide here, and you have to go to Discord to do it. You have to start, or Discord, actually I have a Discord bot or a website, that's neat. And then you can start mining, and it works it's a very similar way, except you're not using Boink, obviously, because that was unique to Bitcoin. But that pool it's like a giant automatic faucet and will constantly be dumping Pinkcoins. That's a great way to pool mine if you don't want to individually handle proof of stake, which we'll look at in the future. But in order to do this properly, you have to use an exchange, and I don't know about the rest of these guys, but the 2 here, now I will point out, if you want to get Pinkcoin directly, like if you want to put X amount of money or a cryptocurrency like Bitcoin and get Pinkcoin directly out of it, exchange.me is the premier one. And one of honestly the coolest things, which is why I wish it was a bit more robust, is it actually has a Tor Onion site. We're actually looking into putting exchange.me on our Tor Onion landing page that you can actually see at the bottom of our live stream here. So yeah, what you do is you go in and you type in the amount in let's reload the page actually, because I think this might be a slightly older version of the page. But basically you put the amount that you have in any of these cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, Dash, Ethereum, like any of these top tier cryptocurrencies, and then you select the type of cryptocurrency you want to boot out, and they have a ton of alternative coins. So let's say we want to put a couple of Satoshis of Bitcoin, and then so we do that, we put like X amount of Satoshis, then we select Pinkcoin, and when we hit exchange, it's going to print out a send URL. We load that into our Pinkcoin wallet, and then hit the next button, and it will send that amount that we've transferred over there. Now, unfortunately, you can't. This is only a one-way. This is only to take other top-tier cryptocurrencies and print them out into Pinkcoin or any others. The problem with exchange.me is that you can't do it in reverse. for the most part. I think you can do like I think you might be able to do like Bitcoin to Monero, or let's try D. Yeah, you could do like Bitcoin to Dash or something. But in terms of Pinkcoin, this is only one way. So going back to ClearNet, you have to use 2 exchanges. You can either use South Exchange or Bittrex. Bittrex, I believe, is more popular, and South Exchange, they both claim security, but no one kind of really knows who South Exchange is. So while that's more kind of risky, they also have a lot more privacy. Like it's less South Exchange, you can do less information for. But if you pick one of these, you then basically convert your Pinkcoin. It's like the same thing with ExchangeMe, but you select your Pinkcoin, you link your wallet, you put in X amount, and then you switch it to Bitcoin. Let's per se, Bitcoin's probably the more promising one, and it will do the exchange rate from Pinkcoin to Bitcoin, which if we go back to CoinGecko here when it loads, everything's going to be less than the top cryptocurrencies. So Pinkcoin, much like Gridcoin, is going to be less of amount in it's going to be less than, Dash, Ethereum, Litecoin, Monero. And come on, get this to work. Ah, jeez. Yeah, this machine's definitely getting taxed. We're almost done with the episode, by the way. Here we go. But let's see, Pink. And everything's going to be pretty much lower than it's going to be lower than why did that happen? Hold on, let's just type in Pinkcoin up here. Less than Bitcoin. But yeah, Pinkcoin, it does better in my opinion most time than Gridcoin, but as you can see, it's double zeros, which is not bad. And I'm going to show you the reason of why it's not bad in a second, because I'm going to load up our wallet. But basically, what you do is you go to exchange, and either with Bittrex or South Exchange, you change it from Pinkcoin to probably most likely Bitcoin. And then what you do is you use either these same exchanges, or you use a more certified exchange like Coinbase, for example. Although a lot of them have different transaction fees. I don't know how that, I'm not on Coinbase, so I don't know what's the difference between Coinbase's transaction fee versus Bittrex. But just to give you an example, there's that in there. And then you basically do cash out Bitcoin to USD, and then with that actual fiat money, you make the donation. Now, here's the problem. I've already set up a lot of these accounts, but it's going to take a while before they actually become verified. So the reason why I'm showing you this off is because we're still going to remember this whole donate for life. If you can find us, we're at beta.donate.with.pink.com, and you can either type in campaign/63, which we were campaign 69, or when you go to the Donate for Life homepage and you load it up, we're like right on, not only in the front page, but we're like right on the top. We are still going to be staking Pinkcoin. So if you do mine Pinkcoin or you invest in Pinkcoin, definitely look us up and cast your stake in it. We're going to be doing it all the way to the next episode, which will be on, it'll be in July, and that will be on July 11th, which is the second Saturday of July. So the next one's July 11th, July 25th, but we're going to do July 11th. And I will cap off by saying that that what we're going to do is in the opening of the July 11th Crypto Barons episode is I'm already going to have the money transferred from Pinkcoin to Bitcoin and then cash out Bitcoin into fiat US dollars. And I will quickly go over what that process kind of looks like without actually doing it. And then we're going to go to the COVID Solidarity Fund. We're going to put the amount in. I'm going to scramble our feed and do the payment and finish. So you're going to watch us donate to the COVID Solidarity Response for Who Live. So that's going to be our first pullout. And note, that's not going to be the end of it. After we do a note, I said it's the first pullout. We are leaving this campaign up for Pinkcoin until COVID-19 is over. Once they say we have a vaccine, most people are vaccinated, we don't have to worry about COVID anymore. And note, the scientists saying that, not our politicians or media. We will finish this campaign. But for now, we're going to do our first pull on July 11th. Again, sorry for the delay. It's not DEFCON 2 on live stream unless there are tech issues, and with this tech issue, it was just simply the verification process to make sure we're not crooks. But just to kind of give you an idea with Pinkcoin, and then we're going to end the episode. I will load up Pinkcoin on the other machine because that's why I have it currently configured to. Come on, wake up. Ah, jeez. Hang on. Plug you in. Wake you up. Wake up. He was in deep sleep, everybody. This guy. Get these cords out of the way. Oh, jeez, really? There we go. That way I can move closer to the screen. So I'm gonna make this guy full screen again. This will be for the last time. Lot less. Basically, this stream, to sum it up, was a lot more technical errors, but I only had to go on break once because things were not working. So yeah, I'm gonna go on to the other computer here. So I'm gonna wake this guy up. Wake up. And we're gonna log in here. So right now I'm logging into my Ubuntu machine, and I'm going to bring up the console here, so the terminal. I'm going to loop this camera around, and we're going to do this once again GI Jack style. So in a moment, the terminal window should pop up. I've had this machine on for a while, so it's taking quite a bit. Plus, I have way too many tabs open on this machine. So I already have the Gridcoin client pre-installed. You can get the client for mostly everything. Let me quickly look on their website again. You can get the client. You can download the client. I mean, yeah, it's on a bunch of different things. I'm loading up the releases here on their GitHub, which lets you know it's open source. The current wallet is called Riley. It was updated last year, which, you know, a lot of these happens in chunks. You can get it for Windows. You can get it for Mac as a DMG. And they also have the core tar, which you have to unzip. So I have this on the root directory here. So the way you load up Pinkcoin, and unlike Windows where you just click an icon, in Linux you obviously first sudo it, because you can't make a sandwich unless you sudo make a sandwich. Let's do that. And then we're going to type in the / for running a program, and it's capital Pinkcoin, the P capital and everything else lowercase, -QT, because we're using Qt as a client. We're going to put in the password here. Hopefully I typed it correctly. Yep. And so as you can see, it's starting to run. We have the big Pinkcoin logo here. And after it loads the block index, it's going to pop up. I haven't covered Bitcoin mining yet, because that's its own issue, kit and caboodle. I wouldn't know what software. Again, Bitcoin is proof of stake. So, I'm sorry, proof of work. So regardless of what software, and we can cover that in a future episode if you want, that you would need. The reason why even on this like powerful GenForce GX machine is you need a lot of CPU, or mainly, which a lot of people use, GPU resources in order to make this work. So as you're going to see when this wallet it loads now, this is not going to be a small number. So just if you're thinking, well, why am I donating this money when like, you know, like this is some small charity somewhere that DEFCON 201's doing. Once this properly loads, you will see how much has already happened within 2 months for Pinkcoin here. And I'm actually going to go in and pre-set up my calculator here on the other machine. I'm going to clear that. Yeah, that's the thing about these cryptocurrency wallets. They do take a bit, especially when you've been running the machine for a while. So eventually the wallet will actually start. Watch, when I end this broadcast, all the wallets will start running at the same time. I mark my word. They're like, oh, you're not broadcasting? Now we're just going to make everything work. Well, now that disappeared, so the wallet should pop up in a moment. Also, I will note both with not only just Pinkcoin and Gridcoin, but any wallet, you should probably go into the menu option of that wallet and encrypt or decrypt it. Use a password manager, come up with a strong, like 60 to 64 character password with characters and numbers and symbols in it. Save that to your password manager and use that, because while your wallet's able to receive cryptocurrency with it locked. You have to unlock in order to send cryptocurrency and or to mine from it. So just note of that. So it's still syncing with the block. There's 600 blocks remaining, but note that number there. So in 2 months, we have accumulated 80,444.32 pink coins. That's how much here. You can even see in our... oh, that was a delay. If you can see here in the receive coins, if I can click over. And when I click back, and right now the computer's going on fire right now, and I think it's because I also have Gridcoin running too. So I'm actually going to close down Gridcoin. But yeah, when we go to the... well, I think it needs to sync first, but when we go to receive coins, you will see all the transactions there. And once it fully syncs with the network here, this number will actually go up slightly to a lot. I'm actually wondering right now why it's taking so slow. I think it's because I have too many tabs open in the background. But actually, let's use the current number. Oh, there we go. So receive coins. The wallet's locked and it's still syncing with the blocks. Ah, okay. Yeah, the thing's running slow. But let's try to go back to overview here. And let's try to challenge accepted, Nexus. So I'm pretty sure if you enter that in somewhere it's gonna work. But let's go back to the overview there if we can. And see if we can I'm actually gonna try to quit out of this and see if we can we're gonna re-enter that number again and do some math. Let's force quit, and then we're gonna just up on the terminal here and get this going. I don't know why. I think I've just run this. That's why I have too many I didn't realize I had too many browsers open. That will do it. Alright, so in a moment, Pinkcoin will successfully shut down. And then I can show you, we're going to load up that number again for Pinkcoin. Because I want this episode to be over because I really want to eat. And I will show you, wow, this is running slow. I will show you how... like we're going to do the calculations for how much that is, because you saw there with that number, over 800,000 coins is not a small number. So let's clear. Let's try loading the wallet again. This is also probably a problem with QT, because I'm pretty sure QT takes up a lot of resources. Although then again, I am running a crap ton of tabs in the background. And actually, let's also kill Keybase as well. That should do it. So it's loading the block index. And as soon as the number comes up, even though it hasn't updated, I will show you, even with an unupdated number, of how we're going to do the calculations back on the main computer here. I'm actually going to move the camera over. And we're going to, darn it, we're going to calculate how much in cryptocurrency that is. And I'm actually going to do the reverse way I normally do. I'm going to turn display capture on and move this above. And I'm actually going to shrink display capture down. And, what just happened? That's weird. Hang on. Oh, that's why. There we go. I'm gonna, I clicked on the, that's why I clicked on the wrong thing. Jesus Lord. Just gonna go in, display capture. I'm gonna shrink display capture down and put it up here, and we're gonna do a calculation. So, it's actually syncing properly. So we're going to go to the calculator here to make this full screen. And I already put in, as we saw on CoinGecko here, how much Pinkcoin is currently running compared to US dollars, which is 0.001615454. Now that seems low, but remember, which is what I'm going to enter here, is that we currently oh, wait a minute, did the number change again? Hang on, let's copy and paste that number again, because I think the number may have changed. So we're going to go copy paste that number. Actually, let's reload and copy paste it just to make sure nothing changed. See, it's gone up, that's why. So we're going to copy paste the current exchange rate number. We're going to go back into calculator. We're going to paste that low number in there, and we're going to multiply that by the amount of Pinkcoins we have. And as you can see, with the amount of Pinkcoins we have, we're going to enter in 80852.80. So and that's it out of sync. Once it gets in sync, that number is going to be even higher. So I just want to double check to make sure that camera's correct. Yep. And now let's times the current exchange rate with the over 80,000 Pinkcoins we have. And you can see we've already raised $130+ worth of Pinkcoin just doing that staking method. This is exactly how Pinkcoin and its charity system works. So when you donate, and we want a lot more, but you're already donating a small amount that will pile up over time. In 2 months, we're able to do 130 just by doing the proof of stake on donate to life for Pinkcoin. Now I'm going to hide the display and put the computer back. So I'm sorry for all the technical issues. This is what I get when I try to show off the tech behind the scenes of these wallets, because the wallets end up not working. But that basically was Crypto Barons. Today we went through as best as we could 2 different cryptocurrencies that help with COVID-19. One, which is Gridcoin, which uses a proof of research, using that research, which is BOINC, which is able to take your extra CPU and GPU resources and send them to make a network cloud computer of everyone's excess computing resources that will then compute scientific stuff. We set it to Rosetta at home so that when BOINC runs, it's doing folding computations for Rosetta at home, which is right now fighting COVID-19. They've already made a huge breakthrough, so the more stuff you can send their way, they can. And by connecting our Gridcoin wallet with it through pooling, what we managed to do is not only help donate Hacker AF computing resources to a really good cause, but has made a bit of money back. And no, you're not going to get rich this way, but getting extra $10, $20 for your CPU mining work, that's going to go for helping out COVID-19 is great. And we also in the beginning covered Pinkcoin and it's using its X11 hash function in order to do proof of staking system, which is different than proof of working, and how it leverages its proof of staking system in order to make a whole charity system where by staking coins you can help generate fiat money to good causes. And we want to let people know that if you go to beta.donate. Let me actually see the full URL here before I go crazy, because they made this way too complex. The beta.donate.with.pink, all one thing with the dots in there. You can find ours. We also have it linked on our blog. If you go to defcon21.org, click news, and then scroll down and click our post titled DEFCON 201 Hacker Resource Guide to Combat the Coronavirus Epidemic. That will be on there. And actually, I forgot to show something off real quick. We also have a bunch of other resources, such as how you can run Linux to combat COVID-19, and how to entertain yourself and everything. And one of the things that we taught people is how to do 3D printing to help with coronavirus. And we've shown 3D printed face masks as well as how to make cloth ones. And also, we've 3D printed face shields. And this one was actually, I cleaned this one. This one was actually donated to me. I actually met a family during the Black Lives Matter protests that took place in Jersey City, and they recognized me and our group because I had the sign, and they have been printing them out for all the kids in their neighborhood. So they gave me this one. It got a little dirty from being outside, but once it unclips from my hair, because this was made for a small child, as you can see, this whole piece here is 3D printed, and they just punched a piece of plastic through it, and it's a face shield for hospital workers and for children and elderly people, so that they don't get the Rona. So we have a lot of resources there, but yes, it's me behind the firewall. Thank you. Although it's more for me not exposing people to side pocketitis, as opposed to me trying to prevent other people from making me sick. But yeah, so once again, on Crypto Barons, we covered two cryptocurrencies. We covered Gridcoin and Pinkcoin. And we showed how one cryptocurrency uses its proof of work system by using the BOINC system in order to generate CPU resources to volunteer your CPU resources for for scientific projects, including COVID-19, which is our focus, which is at Rosetta at Home. And if you link a Gridcoin wallet to that, you can actually earn cryptocurrency. You can earn fiat money, basically, by donating your proof of work for a good cause. And then we've got Pinkcoin, which leverages its unique, which uses its proof of staking system, which is different from proof of work, with its X11 hash algorithm, in order to make a charity network so that you can generate money for free, essentially, for different charities, and with one of ours being for the WHO Voluntary Relief Response Fund. We hope you go donate for that if you do Pinkcoin. Our next episode, once again, for Crypto Barons it'll be next month, because we do the second and fourth Saturdays, will be on July 11th. And I can tell you what the episode is. It's going to start off with a quick walkthrough of how we, very quick, because we would have already done it, how we have taken, how we converted Pinkcoin into Bitcoin and then Bitcoin into fiat US dollars. And then you're going to watch us do the donation, which will be over $130 at that point, live on air. And then we're going to go into our next thing, which is, remember out there, for all you people who watch on DLive, I'm going to keep saying this, whether it is the next Hack Alt N Commander, which will be next Wednesday at 8 p.m., I think it's leading up to it. Either the Hack Alt N Commander, which will be on July 1st, which is Wednesday, is at 8 p.m. On the Master of Unlocking, which will be on Sunday, July 5th. At 8 p.m., where I teach people how to do lockpicks and lock sports. Another episode of Hack and Commander on the 8th of July, or the Arch Vile Linux Perspective, where our co-founder G.I. Jack shows off his Arch Linux rig and plays games on it on July 9th. These are all happening before July 11th. Keep donating us. Keep giving us lemons. Because basically, next episode, start up a little bit with Pinkcoin, but we're going to go right into one of our streaming platforms, DLive. Because DLive is this crazy, semi-uncensored network where it works very much like Twitch, but if you know how like Twitch has those bits, well, it actually uses two different cryptocurrency systems, Lemon and BTT, in order to reward people streaming. And there's a lot of intricacies, drama, and even hacks in order to get that whole system work. So that will be our next episode. Will be a little bit Pinkcoin, but mostly on DLive. Maybe we'll go through Gridcoin again, a future thing, just because of all the technical errors we had despite all the pre-planning, because I wanted to start from scratch with the wallet. If you enjoy the show, please hit the subscribe button. Not subscribe, you hit the follow button. We're working on subscription features soon. You can follow us at www.defcon201.org. We also have an Onion site down there below the Crypto Barons down below the chat. It's a little hard to read, but if you zoom it up, it's it's D3AMND 5UEQMY5CRP.onion is where you can find our landing Onion page. It'll be a full website very soon. If you want to check out my show, it's on Crypto Barons. Happens second and fourth Saturdays every month. So the next one will be on July 11th. If you want to check out the other shows, again, Hackall and Commander, where N Commander does a lot of hacking shenanigans, happens every Wednesday at 8 p.m. GI Jack shows off Arch Linux on Archfile Linux Perspective, starting at 7 p.m. every second and fourth Thursday. And then on July 17th, the third Friday of the month, will be our next meeting. And not only will we be live with some truly crazy hacker AF stuff, but we are also going to meet partly in person with very reserved limited seating at our normal venue at Subculture, which is located on 2600, but 260 Newark Avenue in Jersey City. They have amazing sandwiches and Raspberry Pi arcade machines. We're going to be sitting outside, weather permitting. It's going to be lovely. Anyhow, thank you for joining our Crypto Barons. I hope despite the technical difficulties, you guys had fun and you learned a lot of new stuff about cryptocurrency technologies. That's just not snake oil market share stuff. Again, if you like us, please hit the follow. If you want to check us out, you can go to defcon21.org. Follow us on Twitter, which is defcon2, which is at defcon201nj. Follow us on a bunch of other things, including Instagram at defcon201. We're on hostux.social on Mastodon, which we're listed under DEFCON 201. And I can't wait to see you for future broadcasts. I can't wait to see you at a future DEFCON 201 meeting. And I look forward to July 8th, where we detail about DLive and you get to see us donate directly to the WHO COVID Relief Fund. And check you out on Crypto Barons. Peace and hack the planet. Dirty Jersey, represent. Oh boy, there it is.